Two daddies. Judging baddies. Guys, welcome back to another episode of Two Daddies, Judging Baddies, where we read crazy Reddit stories and then we tell you whether or not they are or are not, in fact, the asshole. We judge people.
Sometimes.
The other podcasts, we judge people too.
We're just judgy people.
So in today's episode, we got
listener submission.
We have a listener submission, and they were like, you know what? Since Mike can barely read, we're going to give him a book.
13 pages.
13 pages.
One person.
Coincidentally is going to be my 13th reason.
And I don't even know that the story is interesting enough, but we're trusting you. Listener submission, we're trusting you.
Oh, man. What if we get through these 13 pages and we're like, this is a dog shit story?
Thanks for watching.
Do you know what listener submitted it?
I can't remember. I could look it up on my phone.
Well, you ain't got to do all that. You ain't got to do all that. I think going forward, when somebody, at least does it, we could be like, John or Emily.
I'll get there. You just keep on entertaining these people, and I'll get this pulled right on up.
So did you see this weekend where apparently Theo Von had a really bad stand-up performance?
Mm.
And then, people are asking him for pictures, and he's like, I'm sorry, I've just had a really bad, really long month. I've wanted to take my life or something, he says, in that vein. Which, if you watch a lot of his stuff, he talks about the struggles with that shit and, bringing it up and stuff.
Yeah.
But when I saw it, I get, bombing, you got shit going on in your life and stuff. But with the fan interaction to do with the balloons and Theo grabbed him around the neck and shit like that, and then he has the bad performance, and then he's like, I wanted to take my own life. Everybody that I've known that's committed suicide, which is a good amount of people. People know people that have committed suicide. Everybody does. I never once heard them say, I'm gonna kill myself.
No, not.
It just always happened.
It's a lot of the people that talk about it are still around.
Right. So that kind of just I get having a bad performance and you're dealing with mental health and stuff like that, but wording it in that way, it just rubbed me the wrong way.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are getting blowback effects after the whole election cycle. Any of the comedians that had podcasts that predominantly had right-wing ideas on a lot, they are starting to come out of the haze of that.
Would we have done that during the election cycle if they were offering big bucks? Would we sell out?
I don't think that nobody gets paid or pays people for.
Oh, that's some hoe ass shit then. Yeah. To just do it, oh man.
Well, I think what ends up happening is you kind of get guests and then other people get introduced. It's kind of and
then all those guys start watching you, but then as soon as the election's over, they stop watching you. And
well, it's not about the watcher. It's about the people, the people that are of importance of some level. Once you get a guest, so say you have a sciencey guest, you're going to get more sciencey guests the more that you do of those. And then all of a sudden, if you start going, one direction on politics, you're going to get more people of that persuasion that want to be on your show that you've now been connected
left
with.
Or right.
And
if your whole life revolves around politics, you're just a miserable person.
We talk about it a lot on our podcast.
God, I'd love to. Yeah, I'm a miserable person. I just love to be able to just in real life, me and you we barely talk about it. But imagine just trying to sit with somebody. I remember I was at a taco truck. We was playing D&D, and we drove by.
We're going in the taco truck while they were making tacos?
No, we're driving by to go to our friend's house, and we see a taco truck there. So we get to where we're playing D&D, and we just keep talking about the taco truck. And we're like, let's go, guys. And we get there, and I order my tacos. I think I ordered some empanadas or something like that. And I'm sitting there and I'm waiting, and I'm so happy about it. And there's this guy standing next to me. He's like, "Oh, what are you guys doing?" He's like, "Oh, we're playing D&D." And I don't know what happened because I'm just staring at the taco truck waiting for the tacos. It's not like I'm being antisocial or anything like that. But he's just like, "Yeah, man, I can't stand all the people who are fighting for abortion right now." And I'm like, well, motherfucker, we're waiting for tacos. I'm sitting. Yeah, I'm sitting.
Where's
here.
The connection? That's
what I was trying to figure out. I was like, how could you not wait?
Or you've seen the one where it's an ADHD person's mind, when somebody talks about something random and then 5 steps away from it, they're like, oh, what about this thing? And then there's a connection to it.
Point? Yeah.
But yeah, like how did abortion like we'll see if you eat a taco while you're pregnant, then it will give you gas and then blah blah blah.
Right, and gas prices are real high right now. Them Democrats, they don't care about the gas prices. They don't care about us. They want to get rid of fossil fuels.
And they just want to kill all the babies.
Yeah. And honestly, I bet half of them eat babies, and they're aborting a lot of fetuses so they can eat. And I'm just like, what is happening? We're going to get into this story, guys. Oh, there's another one. So there's
so it was by Crystal. Crystal.
Shout out Crystal for this long story. Another thing that's in kind of the forefront is the comedians that are going to Saudi Arabia. We'll talk about that on MADHD. I forget that one guy doesn't like when we just don't read the Reddit stories. So I discovered my wife, 28 female of 7 years, is cheating on me, 30 male. She doesn't know that I know. I'm not going to say the update because suspense. Trigger warnings. Trigger warnings. Trigger warnings. If you don't want to listen, oh my God, it's going to ruin your life. Infidelity, pain and anguish, gaslighting, graphic sexual descriptions, regretful spouse obsessed with reconciliation. Imagine that's the one that resonates with you, that long ass.
Oh God. Trying to reconcile.
Mood spoilers. Oh, I'm not going to do the mood spoilers. We forgot about that, but it doesn't get
those ones
away.
are usually trash.
It says OP hurt but hopeful for the future. I think that's any person that just
went through a breakup and cheating and infidelity and all that. Yeah.
I want to make sure I'm not going to. Okay, so here's the too long didn't read. There's so many too long didn't.
Can I just give I'm just thankful that this one's not about like suicide or anything else like that.
Suicide and rape, man. And I'm just like,
yeah, let's.
Why would you submit that? Why would you look? I love the viewer submissions though, because they're like, "Ooh, I want to see them react to this story," and then it backfires when they send something like that. But
did you see the person that was like, "This podcast is just mid anyway. Like, just don't read those stories." Like, but your guys' podcast kind of sucks. Like, did you see that one on Spotify?
Oh, I love you, guy.
He's like,
honestly,
he's like, just don't read those stories.
As much as I try to like incite people to comment, I'm really thankful for that comment. Like, let us know. Just be like, well, the best part too is like they're like deep into it, and they're just like, nah, this is kind of mid. I'm gonna listen to it. It's kind of ass. Hopefully, it gets better. We'll continue monitoring.
It did not get better.
It did not get better. No. This is the podcast you're gonna get forever. Look, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna talk. We're gonna read some stuff. We're gonna get off topic. It happens. All right. So, too long didn't read. OP finds. I don't want the too long didn't read. Why is it in this order? Okay, we're just going to read it in this order. All right, so too long didn't read. OP finds explicit messages between his wife and her business mentor. He uses a private investigator. That's how obviously he uses a PI. I was like, what does that mean? And then it hit me mid-PI. To prove the affair, gets a divorce lawyer. Love bombs the wife before stunning her with a divorce and going non-contact with her. She freaks out and tries to win him back. OP and his wife meet a few times with lawyers, but it always ends negatively. OP has credit card receipts showing how deep she was in it with the AP affair partner.
I guess so.
And refuses to reconcile. She has a mental breakdown, and OP struggles with single life. All right. I discovered my wife of 7 years is cheating on me. Another too long didn't read. OP is 30 male and married to Emily, 28 female. They've been together since high school and have had a great marriage up until now. Emily is a successful hair and makeup artist who owns her own business, which mostly caters to weddings. A lot of her success is due to John, 40 male, a wealthy local business owner who has sent her a lot of work and contacts. OP sees a message preview from John to Emily about how incredible the previous night was. Emily had worked late. OP then finds more evidence of other meetings and discovers expensive jewelry and clothes which he had not purchased and written off as gifts from high-end clients. OP also realizes Emily does not love John but enjoys the lavish gifts and perks he provides. She never replies to John's loving messages, reminds John he should love his wife, and still treats OP as a loving best friend. OP is broken and will file for divorce. Emily is unaware he knows about the affair. So that's so weird. It's like, it's not. I don't love him. I'm just a prostitute. Like,
yeah, he gives me nice shit. And...
right. He just buys me nice things. It's not prostitution. Like, I have sex with him, and then
he gives me nice stuff.
I get monetary rewards.
Yeah.
I would rather you love him.
At least have a little dignity.
Right, a little fucking dignity. OP asked Emily CYA questions about their relationship. What the fuck do all these mean? Can you act? CYA. What do we,
Cover your ass. Yeah.
OP
took me a
asks
second.
Emily cover your ass questions about their relationship, and she admits he has never abused her or cheated on her, and she wishes they made love more. They spend Christmas at her parents' house, and gifts arrives for Emily from Santa with a very expensive gold bracelet. Emily is visibly annoyed and tells everyone it is from a bridal client. She later has an angry phone call while gesticulating wildly. The words that people use. So big. On New Year's Eve, Emily has to work late to deal with a bridezilla, but promises to be back for their annual Kiss at Midnight tradition. She arrives at 1:30 a.m. sobbing profusely. OP asks what happened, and she said she's just sad because she missed their kiss. Like, how do you fucking look? Kudos to guys like this and women like this who can just like find out about that, and then it's not like me. I'd blow the whole thing, because then she's going to be able to like go through and like fucking get all the evidence gone and stuff like that. Some people, they're just like meticulously gathering evidence. I wouldn't be able to do it.
No, they'd be, as soon as I like had somewhat concrete evidence, I'd be like, fuck you, bitch, get the fuck out of here. Like,
Right,
you're gone. Like, there would not be like, well, it first started at Thanksgiving, and then by New Year's Eve, I was still gathering. No, fuck no.
Because he's like
gone.
sitting there at New Year's just while she's just getting banged for a gold watch.
And I would have blew the fuck up.
Right,
like,
yeah,
blew
I'm
the fuck
going
up.
there. Like,
Yeah,
I'm the type of person where you're at like a motel or something like that, and then the door kicks through.
Yeah, I just finished watching Breaking Bad again. I would have had one of those little fucking things on there to find all the meeting spots and.
Like, I'd never take away my kid's mother, but the guy, if he knew, yeah, we can go to jail together, or I mean, lose our lives together, because I'm going to prison for the rest of my life.
Yeah,
you ain't making it out of the hotel. I'm sorry, you gonna die right there. Now I'm gonna eat your eyeballs to traumatize my wife.
Oh,
yeah, PTSD.
Yeah.
I eat it right from. I'm crazy, bitch. What the fuck? This podcast is so mid. I asked her if she had anything else to tell me. She assured me that she didn't. I asked her point blank then if she cheated on me. She swore up and down that she didn't, and that she was upset because she missed the countdown, because since we had been married, we always kissed each other when the clock struck midnight. I gave her every opportunity to come clean, and she still lied to me. OP begins searching for attorneys while Emily is unaware he knows. We are at February 1st, 2025, 9 days later. So I thought this was the one. And if you guys find that story, send it to us and we'll read it on a later podcast. Well, now I'm ruining it. I'm ruining the ending. But it's about a guy. He finds out his wife's having an affair.
You said it in the last episode. I think it might have been an ADHD episode.
Yeah,
or something.
but he divorces her, and then she ends up killing his kids. What the fuck? What the fuck? All right, so this is the update from February 1st. OP finds new communications from Emily warning John OP suspects something. Emily tells John they need to stop and it is not fun anymore, and she doesn't want to lose her marriage. John mentions she should still use the credit cards he gave her to hide their activities. Emily also messages her best friend Bev, who has known about the affair and has apparently supported Emily through it. What a douche friend. That's one of those friends, though, where like the slightest thing breaks up the friendship.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I don't understand people where like they like help other people lie and they're like, oh, they don't lie to me.
Right. Yeah. Right. They do it to everybody else. Like, I'm covering like 4 of their stories right now, but to me, it doesn't happen. OP finds a good attorney and his dad helps pay for it. Kudos, fucking chat of a dad right there. The attorney says the next step is find a private investigator to get more evidence, and the attorney will subpoena the credit card. She also recommends beginning therapy. Emily loves Bomb OP and starts talking about a family. God, good thing they don't have kids. That's the best part. OP has complicated emotions, switching between anger and disgust and missing and wanting her. But overall, he is miserable. Emily now suspects he knows something. February 18th. Oh, wait. Is there I bet there's a non too long didn't read. I don't fucking know. All right.
Well, at 13 pages, we should probably just focus on the too long didn't read parts.
God bless America, land that I love. All right. So right now we got a wife who is prostituting herself out. And that's so crazy too, that it's just like, she does not like him, and it's for like the gifts. And maybe it could be one of those, I mean, technically, and listen, people are going to fucking think this is weird. Look, people are going to think this is weird. But this is a type of sexual assault, though. If she
Yeah,
is
power
really,
dynamics.
yeah, the power dynamic, because he's like, I've gave you every, you know what I'm saying? So if she views it like that, that is sexual assault, bro. Like, people are not as smart as you are, guys, listening. They're not as intelligent as you. They're not able to pick up social things like that. And if they're put into a situation, they will end up making the wrong choices. And then maybe she's just like, oh, fuck, I'm going to lose everything if I don't sleep with this guy. And then he's like, oh, I'm going to give you gifts and shit like that. And
well, yeah, maybe it started.
It kind of continued because then she's like, oh, I don't want, my husband to find out.
Yeah, it started like not innocently, but like, one night while they're at work, whatever, or something along those lines. Like, he's like, oh, let me buy you a drink, blah, blah, blah. And then things go too far. And then once it's like started, she's having a hard time finding her way back out of it.
But also, just because
it doesn't
you're
make it
too
right.
much of a mush-brained panda to fucking understand what's going on, or to, adequately deal with the situation, your spouse still gets to fucking leave you. Like,
well, that's the hardest part with being like, if you do fuck up, if you do something that is wrong, the easiest way out of it is to come clean and fucking just admit your fucking failure.
As you cover your tracks, you're getting into more and more shit with more and more people. It's just easier to just say, hey, I fucked up.
Well, and then they can still trust you. Like, I mean, yes, they can't trust you because of what your actions were. However, when you come clean, like immediately afterwards, like you're like, hey, this was a fuck up. Then it actually looks like a fuck up instead of just keep like telling lies. And now the trust completely erodes. And like, had she come clean after the first encounter, then there could be talks of like, hey, let's fix this. But if you've been hiding it for months and years, like, no, there's no coming back from that.
Right. All right. So now we have the third update. This is 17 days after the original post. OP hires a private investigator who follows John. On Valentine's Day, John leaves flowers and cards at Emily's business. Emily throws them in a dumpster and the PI retrieves them.
Nice.
Dope. Hopefully
Good job, Mike.
Hopefully he put the card in there.
Mike Ehrman-Trout.
Graphic details of their affair, e.g. John tries to win her back by describing his favorite parts of her body and what he does with them. Ah, fuck me. I could not, because the private You remember Cheaters?
No, I never really watched it.
Fuck. Look, I was a kid who did not have cable, so I was just like subjected to whatever the fucking 3 channels were offering. And I would watch that show, and they would always do the bust while they're like having sex and stuff like that. But like mid-episode, they'd be like, all right, here's some really, I want you to wipe your nose in my ass cheeks or in my ass crack like a credit card and shit like that. And I'm just like, at that point, just how do you continue this? You just got to fight now. I couldn't do it. I ain't got a poker face. Very emotional guy. All right. The PI later sees Emily meet with John in a private parking lot and seemingly end the affair. Emily will be served soon. OP begins love bombing her to show her what she will lose. OP has determined he is completely ghosting her once she is served. God, that's fucking dope though.
So he's
doing a whole bunch of stuff. So then she's like, this is what I fucking had. That's a fucking me like a gorilla, just fucking crying on the ground, shit. You know what I'm saying? Anger, crying. Oh God, how you do this to me? I'm gonna look terrible. She's like, fuck, I probably made a good decision cheating on this guy. All right. So now we got the update 4. This is 5 days after the previous update. So Emily is served at her business and she freaks out. OP sends a letter to family and friends describing her affair and includes John's graphic letter. Wow. Fuck yeah. Yeah. This is a good story. God. Crystal, shout out Crystal. He then messages Bev's husband and lets him know that Bev supported the affair. OP leaves a note to Emily's lawyer, contact info and photos of her affair, and then leaves the house before Emily arrives. Emily messages him over and over and says we're supposed to get through this, and she loves him. He ghosts her. Emily now knows that he knows. This is major event, so OP post is included here. Oh, here's the post. I left Emily. We got divorce papers, summons, petitions, standing orders, etc. The PI, acting in his capacity as a process server, wore a body cam for obvious professional reasons, and I was able to look at the footage when he came by my hotel later on in the afternoon. The PI walked up to Emily, who was, we get the fucking moment. Delicious. This is Crystal. Crystal is a chef right now, a sous chef in the house of Two Daddies Judging Baddies. All right, and glowing reviews. He showed her a manila envelope and told her he had legal documents for her and she had been served. Emily, of course, looked shocked and confused and just stared at him gobsmacked. I love when people use that word. The PI clarified that the envelope contained legal documents regarding a divorce case filed against her, and he told her that she should review them and contact her attorney. He then dropped the documents at her feet with a satisfying slap as they hit the ground since she refused to take them and told her she's been served. He then told her to have a nice day and walk out. Morgan Freeman narrator voice. Emily didn't have a nice day. That's what it says in the it says that in the post. I could hear her hyperventilating as the PI left and saying, what is this? Really? Emily, you're actually surprised? I was at home, and after the PI called and said he was heading in to serve her, I called Emily's dad. Since my mom died, I had probably unwisely been treating her like a mom. I just couldn't talk to her. I told Emily's dad about the divorce. I tried to keep it very simple and quick. Emily cheated on me. We're getting a divorce. I'll send you an email shortly with evidence of the affair. I stressed that Emily was being served with divorce papers today, so my dry ass fingers, kind of just moisten them up in there.
Moist.
Emily would absolutely need their support and they should head over to her house immediately. Emily's dad acknowledged that and said that he hoped we could find a way through this and it would be a shame to break up our family.
You're not a family.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
I mean, you were at the bedrock of starting a family because you guys were together and married and all that. But like, technically, you guys can split apart. It's not family.
Right.
Like, until you have kids together, like the rest of the building of a family is not there.
I guess Emily's mom was nearby and overheard because she took the phone from him, put it on speaker, and asked me if this is true. I explained to her about the cheating and the email with the evidence they'll receive. She started crying and apologizing to me. Since this thing started, she was the first person close to me who apologized to me. I was reminded of my mother who would always comfort me when I was down, and I just broke. Y'all, I started tearing and croaked out. I have to go, and hung up on her while she was saying, no, wait. Whoo, that about got me. Look, I was reading that about got me. I had packed up my work laptop, and it's fucking what a chat of a mom. Look, the parental figures, sans father-in-law, all seem just like upstanding fucking people. I had packed up my work laptops and got a lot of my clothes in 2 large suitcases. On the advice of my attorney, I took down the cameras in the bathroom and bedrooms when I left, but the camera in the common area can remain because my dad is owner of the house. I packed the cameras up in my suitcase too. My lawyer sent the subpoena to the credit card company on Monday when I pulled the trigger on my marriage. I wrote an email to Emily's dad and sister and to some mutual friends who know both of us, including Bev's husband. It said, I never thought I'd be writing this, but after everything that's happened, I don't see another choice. I wanted you to hear it from me directly so that there's no confusion or misinformation. Emily has been having an affair with a man named John. I have evidence, emails, financial records, and an investigation that confirms it. I think we all know that her bracelet gift from Santa was not from a client because the client would have identified themselves by name and clients don't know her parents' address. She's been meeting John and hiding it from me for months. I know this is painful to hear, and trust me, it's even more painful for me to write, but I didn't want you to be blindsided about all this later. I'm attaching a few things to this email that make it clear what's going on and to head off any of your concerns about the truth of my statements. I know this is shocking and I don't expect you to take sides. I want you to have the truth. I love Emily, but she's broken our marriage beyond repair. I have no choice but to move forward with the divorce. Father-in-law's name, mother-in-law's name, everybody in the email. Thank you for being like a second family to me. I will miss all of you. I wrote a similar email to John's wife and gave her my attorney's name and number if she wanted to see the physical evidence herself. It would have been in my lawyer's office. Personally, I think my lawyer is going to try to get John's wife to give her. Personally, I think my lawyer is going to try to get John's wife to give her a retainer. I also sent a group text for them to check their emails. Then I blocked Emily's family. I guarantee you, wife of rich husband is just going to be like, that's what happens.
That's one of his 4 4 current
right. Yeah, he's got needs. I just get the money. It'd always be do nothing bitches like that. You know what I'm saying? Who said do nothing bitches? Ronda Rousey. Ronda Rousey said, I'm not a do nothing bitch. Like now, if she runs like a fucking thing and she's fuck you, buddy. I'm out doing the same shit. I ain't fucking people. But we will see when this happens. This is a bowl. This is a bowl full of just juiciness right here. We're eating good right now, Dylan. We're eating good. To the email, I attached the photo of John and Emily kissing goodbye in the hotel parking lot and a photo of the contents of John's Valentine's Day card to Emily. It was explicit. I want to know the letter. Finally, I had a link to the recording of Emily saying that I didn't abuse or cheat on her. I just wanted to head that bullshit off ahead of time. Then I left my wedding ring, a printed copy of the same photo Emily and John of the same photo of Emily and John at the hotel parking lot kissing. I can't read. My lawyer's business card and a note. Thanks for your help on this, guys, the note said. I hope your affair with John was worth our marriage. Oh, here's the note. We are getting a divorce. Contact my lawyer if you have any questions or need to get in touch for arrangements regarding the divorce. Otherwise, get a lawyer and let's get this over with. If you're truly remorseful, then do the courtesy of giving me the easiest, most generous divorce possible. I loved you and I could have forgiven almost anything except abject betrayal. I would have loved you for the rest of my life. I need some water. I'm fucking these words up.
Because of the water?
I'm just excited. It's a good story, but it's also long as shit too. Everything I'm reading is just, it's paper. Look, I'm showing the camera. It's just full of stuff. On my way out, I got a call from Emily that I ignored. I put my phone on silent and dropped by the bank. I took out half of our money from the various accounts we have, checking emergency vacation fund. I have already frozen my credit. When I got to the hospital, I canceled our share credit cards. I made arrangements to freeze our joint investment accounts so that she couldn't withdraw money from them. They're in my name. Adultery subreddit pro tip. People, if you cheat, make financial arrangements ahead of time in case you get caught. I then got a text from her. I left her on red because my lawyer told me that if she confesses to the affair over text, we can use that as more evidence for the divorce. I'm responding to her text here only because it's therapeutic to me. Okay. Messaging with the language writing of her text because I am paranoid. Note, OP clarifies that Emily used normal language in her text and he only changed it to shorthand here to avoid her searching for the comments online and finding this post. This is the condensed version of the past 12 hours or so. What the fuck is this? In parentheses, I'm divorcing you. Answer your phone. We need to talk right now. Also in the parentheses is his response. He responds, nope, I've had enough gaslighting for a lifetime. Thank you very much. This was followed up by a lot of texts demanding I call her or answer her calls. No thanks. She then the text changed. So I presume she got home and reads the note and saw what I left. I don't know what you think you know, but I can explain everything. It's not what you think. He says, you're right, Emily. I'm a stupid idiot who'll believe anything you say. Divorce, she sends divorce, question mark, question mark, question mark. We love each other. We're supposed to work through this mistake. He says, mistake, oops, my wet hoo-ha fell onto John's erect wee-wee repeatedly for almost a year. Oopsie. She says, okay, so now it's coming out a little bit. She says, look, I know I fucked up, but don't do this. Don't leave me like this. He says, finally, an acknowledgement of the affair over text. Zing, right to my lawyer. What does she say? Look, I know I fucked up. I would have done it a little bit more before I did that. She says, I never stopped loving you. I never loved him. He said, another gift from Emily. Zing, right to my lawyer. Then the tone changed later. She says, you're overreacting. You're acting like I never loved you, like I wasn't trying to fix things, but you wouldn't let me. He said, fix things? Okay, build a time machine, Emily. Build a goddamn time machine. She said, are you just going to ghost your own wife? He said, consults Magic 8 Ball. All signs point to yes. Bro, this is dope. God. What a dude. Like, just what a fucking guy. Just what a put together person.
Well, because, like, he didn't respond to any of those. These are all just his imaginary responses. That
he's responding to her.
No, he's not. You're going to ghost your wife. He hasn't responded to a single one of these. These are his smart-ass quips that he was going to...
for therapy. That's what he said for therapeutic reasons?
He's responding in this write-up, but he didn't actually respond to a single one of those. Like, he just let her kind of go ham on it.
Trying to see the part where I just saw that.
That's what he said. said I just responded, or I responded here.
I'm
but
responding to her text here only because it's therapeutic
Yeah.
to me. Okay.
So none of these are going to her.
Oh, so he's like chatting up and not doing it. Man, it kind of ruins a little bit for me.
No,
but
it's fucking
all right.
great.
Then her parents showed up at the house. Who boy, what the fuck did you do? And then you had no right to involve my family like this. Then followed by, are you trying to humiliate me? Are you trying to ruin my life? Do you hate me that much now? He says, kinda, it's complicated. After that, a barrage of phone calls that I didn't answer. She says, how could you do this? How could you try to turn my own family against me? He says, I'm not. I'm trying to have them not turn against me. And then I told you I never loved him. I never loved him. He says, no one cares, honey. Least of all, John. I know you love me. I love you too. We can fix this. We can fix everything. And then just tell me what to do. Tell me how to fix this. I'll do it. He says, let me get this straight. You wiped your ass with our marriage vows and stabbed me in the back, and now you want me to tell you how to fix this shit. I had to go to Walmart because I forgot to pack underwear, and I don't have a rich sugar daddy to buy me some fancy skivvies from Saks Fifth Avenue. You never loved me if you can do this to me. He says, fuck this shit. I'm going to have to block her instead of leaving her on red. I don't think I could take this, man. So this is how marriage ends. No fanfare, no heroic deeds, just whining, crying, anger, and depression, just like any other divorce. Only this is my divorce and it feels like the end of the fucking world. But in reality, this is all just beginning. I feel like this whole process is going to take years. I hope not. My lawyer reassures me that with the evidence that we have, it'll go relatively quickly. Meanwhile, I'm thinking, what? Relatively quick? Relatively to what? Continental drift? At this point, I just want to thank you, beautiful men and women who supported and encouraged me. I'd vacuum all of your cars if I could and clean your bathrooms. I just want a I just want a falling anvil to hit me on the head and cause amnesia like a cartoon character or a Hallmark Channel movie. That is, we didn't cover that in the
Amnesia,
Hallmark. Yeah,
no.
the amnesia. And now he must make her fall in love with her again. This Christmas. Ding, 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 ding. Oh, I think I combined racism with a Christmas song. The little Indian.
Oh.
Yeah. The ding, 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 ding. I combined the both of them. This Christmas, Santa gets racist. Look, that could be what the movie's about, though. It's a woman. She was racist. She fell in love with an Indian man. Okay. And then an anvil hits her on her head and she converts back to the racism during Christmas time, the worst time to be racist. I take Christmas off for racism. I know this is tonally all over the place. I keep second guessing myself if I did the right thing. I just changed my life today in fundamental ways. I'm wondering if it's a lateral move. I feel like I've moved from a warm cesspool to a cold, gray, rocky place. Is this an improvement? I feel like I have these scars now and the one who gave them to me is the one person in the world I trusted the most. I will never forgive her. Now I have to bulk up and walk it off like a real man because feelings and tears are weak and a turnoff. I just want my mom. Aww. Update, Emily's letter. Emily sends an email describing the affair. She says John saved her business and then began pressuring her until she gave in. It was supposed to be once, but he kept pushing for more and called her ungrateful when she tried to stop. She never loved him and always loved OP and hoped their relationship would survive this. Her family has also told her she messed up and understands why OP is divorcing her. OP can't believe she is acting like a victim and doing trickle truth without mentioning how fun she said it was and the credit card that she bought and the credit card she used to buy her a lot of expensive things. He just wants the divorce to be finished. OP is still ghosting Emily. She has not seen or spoke with him since he said goodbye and left for work the day she was served.
See, so like, I mean, yes, technically, she's not a victim in the marriage part. Like but like, yes, she was, basically groomed into, providing something that was not appropriate. And had she fucking come clean at that point,
or if she was just like, fuck, I don't know what to do. You know who the best person to confide in with that is?
Your fucking husband.
Yeah, your partner. Fuck. So here's update 6, night out with the bros. OP is staying at a friend's rental. His friends take him out to play D&D. He tries to forget about life for a while. OP's lawyer says John's wife, Lisa, contacted her. They will work together on aligning evidence for their respective divorces. Look, listen, and this is all I'm saying. What if, through the divorce, she's like, Lisa, you're a great person. She's like, you are too. And then they fug. That'd be crazy.
Happens.
It does happen. Update 7, meeting John's wife and mother-in-law. OP meets with John's wife, Lisa. They share timelines and evidence. On New Year's, John was vacationing with Lisa and her 3 kids. Then he flew home early. Lisa found video of Emily going to their house with John that night. OP meets with his mother-in-law. He has a very close relationship with her, especially after his mother passed. She brings him groceries and homemade meals and tells him he needs to eat more. Then the mother-in-law asks if reconciliation is possible, and OP says the man Emily married is dead and the man who is left would treat her horribly. Mother-in-law says Emily is staying with them and spends all day crying in her room and only comes out to get water. OP suggests mother-in-law gets her in therapy. Update 8. It says Bev, so I can find 8 and Bev. Update 8. Bev, credit card records, and infidelity dodgeball. Bev deleted all social media, and OP has no idea what is going on with her. The lawyers received the credit card records of the card John gave Emily. She spent $30,000 over 9 months. I'm sorry, no. Now it's just like, nah.
Yeah, you're
100% participating in this, including hotel dates, gifts, and even items she bought for OP. She also spent $175 at a sex superstore for John, which affects OP the most. Emily's lawyer doesn't know they have the records. The credit card records infuriate and break OP, who calls Emily a whore with a wealthy John, and that's funny because but his name might not really be John. And any remaining love for Emily is gone. Emily's lawyer has reached out to set up a meeting between both groups. OP can ask one question beforehand to get a full answer. OP asked to describe what really happened on New Year's Eve. What's fucked, though, too, is like, he calls her a whore. I bet the comment section is like, you have no right to call a woman that. But like, if you out there fucking for fucking jewelry and shit like that, you a hoe.
And you're married.
Yeah, you a hoe. A guy could be a whore. A woman could be a whore.
If you're single and doing it, sure,
right.
whatever.
You have fun. You're a fun person.
Yeah.
That's when I say promiscuous. If you are in a relationship and you're fucking up, you're a whore. Like, that's it. Like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Fuck your feel.
Because once again, it goes back to like my analysis of like all crime and all problems is like, if you hurt somebody else, you're an asshole. Like and so like you are married. If you are out there doing it yourself, you can have sex with as many people as you want to, blah, blah, blah. No judgment. But the second that you say, hey, you're my person, we're riding through this forever, and then you go do something like that, you're hurting that person. So you are a fucking, that's when whore and all those terms are completely valid.
Absolutely. All right. So update 9, lawyers. OP and his lawyer meet with Emily. I didn't miss anything. Okay. This is lawyers, because he was like, OP asked to describe what really happened on New Year's Eve.
And we get nothing.
Nothing. So here's update 9, lawyers. OP and his lawyer meet with Emily, mother-in-law, and lawyer. OP has anxiety and takes a pill, which makes him happy and floaty during the meeting.
Let me do some drugs before this important event.
Emily's lawyer offers terms, which asks OP to try reconciliation for 9 months and then gets generous terms if they still divorce afterwards. OP's lawyer says they will review it. Emily also provides a written answer about what happened on New Year's Eve. OP's lawyer brings up the credit card charges. Emily's party is shocked. Her lawyer stammers and was obviously unaware of the card. Mother-in-law shakes her head, especially at the sex store entry. Emily freaks out and nearly runs away. OP's medicine reacts and he throws up. He then offers Emily his terms, which have been updated to include his fresh puke. Discussions end. Emily's lawyer drops her as a client since he was a family friend doing a favor and didn't appreciate the lies from her. Emily's written answers about New Year's Eve. I keep saying NYE, and I want to say New York Eve. Have I said New York?
No, you've been saying New Year's Eve.
God, because it keeps making me want to say New York. I don't know why NYE is making me think of New York.
Because it should be NYC. Well, if it's all in capitals,
but also too, and
NYC.
here's the fucked part about it is, it says Emily's written answer about NYE, and then it says states. So it's like states, New York. About New Year's Eve states that she was actually working late with a bridezilla. Then John met her and he drove to his house so he could call his family, which he had just ditched on vacation. They then had unsatisfying sex, and John did a power play to keep Emily after midnight, so she missed her kiss with OP. Here's OP's description of the events of the day.
I just love how she's like unsatisfying sex. Like that makes it better. Like there was still sex. So yeah, it's still bad. Like it doesn't matter if you got off or not. Like
right.
It was just sex.
So we had the negotiation today around 10 a.m. Emily, as suspected, looked well put together but tired. She had her hair up in a carefully crafted blonde ponytail and was wearing a very short black dress with a suit jacket. Emily looked at me with a pained expression and doing her fake smile. She was shaking slightly the whole time and taking deep breaths periodically. She didn't say anything, but she sure looked like she wanted to. Emily's mom was dressed in a nice sundress and she had done her makeup and hair. She smiled at me genuinely and reached for me, but then I held back and she realized today I was the enemy. I gave her a little smile and wave. Now, for anybody that's like, Mike, you are fucking up. Look how much text this is. Which, what if Crystal was like, look, it's a really good story, and that's gonna like take Mike's mind off of I'm setting this motherfucker up. He's gonna look stupid today. The lawyer then pulled out a folder of the credit card records and put it on the table and told Emily's side that we know she has a Visa Infinite card in her name that was billed to John's wedding venue business. Emily immediately tensed up and froze, wild-eyed. I thought she already knew about this.
I think it was too long to read, and now this is the
so
full
now
detail.
We're getting the juicy parts. Okay. Emily's mom's head snapped to stare at her. Emily's lawyer cleared his throat loudly and blinked like 700 times. What? My lawyer started reading off hotel charges and dates and asked why those charges and dates coincide with meetings with John and her appointment book. Emily started shaking and stammering. Her lawyer instructed her to be silent. He said that they were not aware of any credit card and they were not notified of this evidence. My lawyer told him that they were notified now and handed him a folder with copies of the credit card records. My lawyer then talked about the charges in December that included the toy store and asked if she bought me and her family Christmas gifts with the card. Emily was breathing heavy and had a nice flop of sweat forming. Nice flop sweat forming. Not a good look. Not a good look at all. Her mom said, what? And Emily's lawyer cleared his throat like a magician's assistant who knows the trick is about to fail. My lawyer then asked Emily if she recognizes the clothes I was wearing and if she could point out in the card's records which charges coincided with them. Emily stood up and looked like she was about to bolt. Her lawyer looked annoyed. My lawyer then asked Emily about the $175 charge at the sex superstore. And Emily's lawyer sighed heavily and said that he felt that the meeting has stopped being productive. Simultaneously, Emily's mom looked down at the floor and said, oh God, and then got up and left the room, her hands over her mouth. Knowing my mother-in-law, the oh God was more of a prayer than an expletive. In parentheses, it says, God, sorry I can't answer the phone right now, but if you leave your name, number, and a brief message. At the same time the sex superstore was mentioned, Emily started going crazy and says she can explain it all. It's not what we think. Emily's shame has entered the chat. Floaty Me just sat there like an ape researcher watching monkeys throw their shit at each other like, yep, this is happening. How many eggs do I have left at home? Forgot to count this morning. There's so many fucking hundreds of typos. Hundreds. Like if you look at this post, it's so bad. So I'd taken the Klonopin an hour before the meeting on an empty stomach, and my stomach was now filing for divorce too. I hurried over to the small trash can, picked it up, and vomited into it. Not much came out other than the expensive bottled lawyer water I had drank earlier. Afterwards, I sat down casually like, nah, I just didn't vomit into a trash can. You're seeing things. While Emily was asking if I was sick and if I was okay, I ignored her. What a bitch. Are you okay? Are you sick? Oh my God, I'm so worried about you. Emily started sobbing and apologized and asked to speak with me privately, while her lawyer comforted. I could
There
not.
you go.
My brain was not. I got CTE or something. Her awkwardly while shushing her and herding her out of the room, taking the folder and a copy of our offer that my lawyer launched at him as he was gathering his stuff. So I'm going to pause to take a water break and then say, don't submit nothing this long again. Shorten it for us. Do something.
So she originally submitted just the username, like the user's profile name. And so then I would have had to go through and copy all of them. And I typed into the search, I was like, best of Reddit. So somebody else at least condensed it. Because technically, most of this is too long, didn't read shortened versions of it. I think it probably would have been like 30 pages if we would have had like each individual post.
Yeah, it's a combination of just like a million typos. I can't read. It's so long. Hopefully everybody still enjoys the episode.
Oh, it's a great fucking
Okay.
story, though.
It is a great story. I'm so enthralled. His face was the color of a tomato. Oh, taking the folder and a copy of our offer from my lawyer. So the lawyer just gets the offer from the other lawyer. His face was the color of a tomato. Floating me observed. I was still sitting there after the door shut, and my lawyer grabbed Emily's business records and told me that she was right. It would be a short meeting. Floating me looked at my lawyer silently for a bit, and I pointed at the vomit trash can. Can we make that part of our offer too? I don't get that joke. For the first time since I met her, my lawyer started really laughing hard, like stomach holding laughter. She said she'll mention it. Maybe you can bang the lawyer. That's a rough relationship to be in though, because like people work, lawyers live, like, you know, living at work. That's not them. Their work is their life. As to what Emily said happened on New Year's Eve, it was something I couldn't have guessed. Emily said she actually did go to a bridezilla to get their order and to make an appearance. In parentheses, he says she was invited but not required to be there like she told me. She met John there because it was John who introduced her to the bridezilla and got her that gig. John had a business relationship with bridezilla's dad and was invited as well. John and Emily left the venue separately but met in the parking lot, and John gave Emily a ride to the hotel because he had been drinking, or she had been drinking. Instead of going to the hotel, though, John insisted they go to his house. Despite her protest, she didn't want to antagonize him, so she went along with it, but complained the whole time about getting out of there by 11:30. They went to his place. He FaceTimed his wife. They had very unsatisfying sex in his marital bed, her words, and she drove him back to the venue where the New Year's Eve bridezilla family get-together was, which was empty by that time. She drove home, having sobered up, nauseated. But it's what I needed to hear. I had assumed they went to a hotel and had sex, but then again, it was at his place. Turns out they skipped the hotel entirely. He drove her straight to his house under the guise of needing to FaceTime his wife at midnight and to defile their marital bed. Romantic, right? At least she didn't enjoy herself. Right? It makes all the difference. There's so much of that in there too. Like he's just like it's good if you have a conversation, but if I'm trying to read it, fuck me. Update 10. Emily's backyard cookout. OP is notified of a fire at his old house. He rushes there to find Emily in the backyard burning all of her expensive gifts from John. He startles her as he puts out the fire. She gives him a hug and won't let go. It's the first time they have been alone since he ghosted her. Her parents arrive, and then the cops, they all scold her for the fire, but she seems happy to just see OP. Everyone leaves, and OP dominates the remaining items and changes the locks. Emily has started an apology tour and has told all of her friends and family the full detail of her affair. She also has a new lawyer. So here's update 11. Bev's husband and post-nuptial agreement. Also, when you throw in lawyer terms too, where I'm just like, what the fuck does this mean? OP meets with Bev's husband. Bev admitted to living vicariously through Emily's affair and asked for forgiveness from her husband. She cut all contact with Emily. He and Bev are working through things, but he came close to leaving her and their relationship is strained. OP created his final terms for the divorce. One non-negotiable item that is it. An at-fault divorce and Emily's infidelity is a matter of public record. Any person who looks up their online profile will see that their marriage ended due to her affair. The PI said most of his job is researching new boyfriends, girlfriends of upper-class people, and this type of things ends those relationships fast. Lisa's divorce is going through, and she will likely do very well, especially after Emily provided an affidavit of the entire affair. John is miserable, alone, and his kids want nothing to do with him. OP plans to write a letter to family explaining how reconciliation is impossible in order to reduce the lawyers back and forth and go straight to final negotiations. I like to see when an affair ends in people being miserable. I'll be watching true crime documentaries, and like she'll start cheating with this guy, and then, you know, she'll leave the first partner, but then this guy turns out to be hella abusive and then kills her. Yeah. And I'm just sitting there, I'm just like, nice. Fucking nice. Nice. Update 12. Letters to Emily. OP is trying to write a letter to Emily to explain how reconciliation is impossible. He goes through many variations before finding one and sending it to her. The letter states the definition of love and how she went against it time and time again. He describes how she brought another man into their relationship and continued to kiss and make love with OP, even though she immediately did the same thing with John. What she did wasn't just betrayal, it was defilement, it was degrading, in parentheses. She killed the version of OP she loved and is now trying to bargain with his ghost. It is over. They both need to move on. He is a fucking wordsmith, though. I mean, he fucks up a lot of or the person putting this in is fucking up a lot of it. I don't know who it is, but definitely a wordsmith. She receives the letter and cries uncontrollably, according to mother-in-law. OP's lawyer sends the final terms for divorce to Emily's lawyer, and now they wait for her to accept or reply with changes. Update 13, Mother's Day and father-in-law. OP provides small updates. Emily attends an outpatient mental health facility each day at work. That's exactly how it's written. I don't understand that sentence. OP is moving back to his place after removing all of Emily's items photos. OP called mother-in-law for Mother's Day and had a good talk. John is trying to reconcile with Lisa, but her friends are ripping them apart in a chat that OP is included in.
Nice. He gets to
That's friends. Like that, yeah. Emily has agreed to OP's divorce terms, so the final step is to meet and sign the final documents. Emily wants to make an agreement with OP entirely and completely separate from the divorce agreement. She wants to meet with OP in 1 year's time with a mediator and a counselor for a couple of hours. She and her parents have put $7,500 in it for escrow for it. They will pay for the therapist and mediator. All OP has to do is show up and participate in a good faith manner, and he'll get $7,500. This is entirely optional. There's no penalty for OP not showing up other than not getting the $7,500. Emily and family go no contact with OP for the year. Them breaking no contact will forfeit the $7,500 to OP. OP addresses a YouTube video supposedly written by Emily, but states that there are enough inaccuracies that it's likely written by someone following him on Reddit, making up the gaps. Finally, OP visits with father-in-law for what seems like the final time. Father-in-law explains what they've learned in family therapy with Emily. Emily grew up believing she had to be perfect and thrived on receiving praise. Shut the fuck up. When her business was failing in 2022, she couldn't go to OP or her parents for the fear of being a failure. So she went to John, who mentored her and paid for her business expenses. Over 2 years, John started expecting more and more and said he would end it if she didn't do something extra in return. OP was the only one in her life that made her feel like she could be a better person. And when she started lying to OP about how her business got out of trouble, the illusion shattered. So she decided she must be a bad person after all and acted accordingly by giving in to John's advances. Gay! No, shut up. Even as a dad, I'll be like, that's the stupidest fucking thing I ever heard. Shut the fuck up. Like, what? I'm not telling your ex that. Fuck that. Okay, so update 14, divorce paper signed. We're now at May 29th.
I don't know where we started at.
I think in like November. OP and Emily meet to sign and notarize the divorce documents and the $7,500 agreement. As part of the latter agreement, Emily reads a radical, honest statement that explains everything about the affair. She says she still loves OP and will never forgive herself for hurting him. She admits to having a full-blown affair and was not coerced. She had fun with it and loved the lavish gifts and attention, but she never loved John. Emily then goes into explicit detail of the sexual acts she and John did. OP flees from the room and leaves the office entirely. As part of the $7,500 agreement, Emily's family has to go no contact for 1 year. So at this point, OP will not be hearing anything from them. OP is unsure if he will even meet in a year, but is adamant that he will never get back with Emily. And with the divorce signed and Emily being no contact, there shouldn't be any new updates until late summer when a judge finalizes the divorce. Excerpts from OP's description of Emily's statements are included here.
Uh-oh, we get to hear the dirt.
Oh, here we go. She admitted John was a full-blown affair. John never forced or coerced her. She let it happen and she wanted it to happen. It was on me, she said, and then she cried some more. John helped her with her business and gave her the credit card. He basically seduced her with his charm and the fact that he took her to all of these super exclusive and expensive places, and she willingly allowed herself to be seduced. It is not an excuse.
Seduced by money,
right?
Like, because charm is.
I mean, you
buy me a lot of shit.
but that fucking eight digit number in your bank account makes you look a whole lot more handsome.
You look good,
right? God.
I don't care if you got a tiny dick and have unsatisfying sex.
He had this nice shade of green about him. What stung was how she said it felt like success. Being wanted by a rich asshole validated her in a way she couldn't admit to herself at the time. She said it was fun in the beginning because she was able to separate it from our life, and she was swept up in the romantic dates and the boutiques and him working his charm. Compartmentalization. She did repeat that she was never in love with him. It was just exciting and forbidden and sneaky. She said the sex shop purchase was a remote control vibrator, some costumes that she said were cheap and humiliating, and she threw them away because they didn't fit well. Condoms and lube. She insisted they always use condoms, but they didn't in actual practice. She was aware of his vasectomy. Fuck, that'd be hard to read, just being in there and listening to that shit. She said she enjoyed the sex at first because of the excitement and forbiddenness of new relationship energy, but then it became like a chore because John ultimately wasn't particularly great in bed, and she started to feel guilty all the time, and yet again, she said she didn't love him. She said it stopped being fun when John started acting like he owned her, and she owed him her time.
She did.
She didn't like how possessive he was or how he treated her like a thing she bought rather than a person he cared about. She didn't end it, though. When I asked why she didn't, she said she didn't have a good answer other than she felt stuck. She said the gifts and the credit card and the help with her failing business blurred the lines. She and Bev told herself to keep it going just a little longer until she could untangle herself because she was in too deep to break away cleanly. She said she had already started doing this in October when her business became profitable on its own. Damn. On New Year's Eve, she met John at a bridezilla party and thought they were going to a hotel as usual. Instead, he took her to his house without asking. They had sex in John's master bedroom, reluctantly on her part, and then right after FaceTimed his wife. Emily was still right there. She said the way he looked at his wife and the way he stole glances at her during that call made her feel sick. Ugh. She said that night, because of their actions at John's home and after I accused her of cheating that night, she saw the affair for the ugly thing that it was. That's what took it?
Yeah.
Finally?
Well, the part that I wanted to address before we go further is...
Wait a second. Let me just do this one sentence. That's when she decided she was done, because it was the last thing on that piece of paper.
But when you get into a relationship like that and he is basically buying your attention, you are a thing. You're not a fucking romantic, he bought you.
Right.
And I hate to say it, and
you
might hate to admit it, but
or you put yourself up for sale, yeah.
Yes, you were bought, and that's all you were to him, was just a plaything for the money and all the gifts and everything that he gives you. He's paying that with the intention of you doing the things, and you accepted that as the initial relationship, and so that's what it is going forward.
All right, so this is the last page.
There's 2 more updates, but they're on Reddit.
I'm not doing it. We'll update it in a later episode. All right, she bought all the gifts and date nights for me out of guilt, which is not a big revelation at this point either. Same with the sex and love bombing for me through all of the affair. Then she decided to get specific. It sounded like she was reading from a script of a low-budget porn shoot. Every word shredded me. Hearing what she let him do, what she chose to let him do, felt like being erased. I guess he said felt like being erased. Like our sex life had been overwritten by some horrific bullshit. At some point, I couldn't hear anymore. I felt like this balloon of ice cold water exploded in my chest, and I started breathing heavy, and I just had to get the hell out of there. I ran out of the lawyer's office with Emily crying hard like she was surprised I didn't want to sit through this shit. Update 15. I'm a big dumb moron.
Fingered my butthole, and then he would rub on my...
Right.
I don't think I need all these details.
These are unnecessary.
Give me the too long didn't read version of this.
OP is depressed because his final anniversary just occurred. He decides to read Emily's written statement, which goes into detail about her affair, the same details that caused him to flee their previous meeting. He said essentially Emily had fun with John at first, but it was ultimately unsatisfying. She would have sex with OP afterwards to feel less guilt about the affair. When John wouldn't let her end it, she decided to end it another way by going off of birth control to get pregnant by OP. John had a vasectomy, so no risk there. She had even more sex with OP to try to get pregnant. OP was oblivious to this and loved the attention from her. When she didn't get pregnant by New Year's, she decided to end it with John regardless of his threats, but by then it was too late. OP was onto her and confronted her. OP then describes how reading about his inability to get Emily pregnant made him paranoid, so he decided to get tested for infertility. Many hijinks ensue. Update 16. It's all official now. The divorce is finalized. OP gives life updates for many of the actors in the saga, although no news from Emily since they are fully no contact until next year. John's oldest daughter found a copy of Emily's confession in the home office and now refuses to communicate or do anything with him. He is threatening to sue Lisa for parental alienation. Shut up, phone!
It's very important.
Right.
That was the end?
That was the end.
Oh, that was very lackluster end.
I mean, that's the end, and that's what happens though with the affairs. It's a lackluster end.
There was all the updates and stuff, and none of those were discussed in the too long didn't read version of it. It's kind of lame.
There's so fucking much. Jesus, that was a long one.
Well, I can say yeah, we're not ever coming back to this, but update. So that ended with update.
Fuck it, I'll get the fucking update.
He's a long writer.
Oh, is he?
So. Here, I'll read.
All right.
All right, so that was update 15 there?
Yep.
All right, so update 16. Too long didn't read. The Lexapro has officially kicked in. Got my final divorce decree. So I got a package from my lawyer last Friday. Final judgment and decree of divorce, said the first page. Signed by the judge and stamped sealed below the signature for good measure. Game over, roll credits, that's a wrap. 13 years together and 7 years married, and it's officially over. The only thing that I didn't see in the document was any kind of last name change language for Emily to go back to her maiden name. It just said that she had the right to change her name back to her maiden name. I thought that kind of thing just sort of happens automatically, but I guess not. I guess that it's just an extra headache that women have to go through. She's still using my last name on social media, though, according to Matt's wife, so I guess I've been reduced to a blue check mark now. My forefathers would be so proud that our last name lives on. Matt's wife, by the way, is in her third trimester during a hot, humid summer. Jesus Christ.
Right, yeah, that's the worst.
This is just, these are the
yeah, we're not reading all that. We're not reading all that. They got divorced. That's the end of the story, guys.
No, we'll so it appears like the guy that got divorced, he's went on a date.
Ooh.
And so he's back out in the dating pool. And then the last update is update 18. This one's probably worth reading. It says, I sort of saw Emily. I just turned 31. My first birthday in over a decade without Emily around, which felt weird. My last birthday, she was still in the middle of her affair with John. She made a really big deal out of my birthday at the time because it was my 30th, and she was still cosplaying as a loving, loyal wife. She didn't give me anything especially great, just a couple of shirts, but she threw a huge party with all of our friends there with the typical gloomy decorations, like I'm old as fuck now. She made a big heartfelt speech about how great I am and how much she loved me. Really moved me at the time. My Google account sent me the memories, including the video. I have to remember to turn that shit off. Shreya and I are officially a couple until December. December is when she's going home to India to start meeting. See, you were particularly racist on the India Christmas.
Nice.
Like you knew it was coming.
Yeah, that was an India Christmas, bro. God, synchronicity is so crazy.
She's going back to India to start meeting guys for the matchmaking process. I guess she has to get married off. It's weird having an expiration date on a relationship, but there's also clarity there. Like, I know I'm not going to surrender my heart completely, and neither is she. She's the first girl I've ever been with romantically besides Emily, and it was awkward as hell, not gonna lie. She was patient, thank God, and now we're both enjoying each other. Either that or I'm enjoying by myself, and she's really polite.
So I actually had relations with a
Indian
girl that had to go. Yeah, she had
Oh.
to go back and get matched up with somebody. She was like
arranged marriage.
Yeah,
That's
arranged
the-
marriage. So I guess they like try like a couple times, and then like the woman will try to get out of it because there's like certain things you do, like going to college, and then it's like, oh well, when you're 2 years through, you have to do it. I forgot where like it was. I only knew her for like 4 days. My big old sister, I told her she's a big hefty girl, just happened to bring by this fucking just gorgeous woman. I was like, who the fuck is this? How'd y'all meet? How are y'all friends? I was like, what is going on?
I thought people usually ran in like similar crews, not a 10 with a 3.
Look, 10, bad.
Yeah.
I'd like to meet her husband now.
So Bob is talking. I don't know who this person is, so we'll skip that part. Lisa and John's divorce is still processing. I think it's probably going to go to trial. I knew it was going to be contentious, but damn, my lawyer should thank me for Lisa's referral. Lots of billable hours for her. John's oldest daughter doesn't want to talk to him. He's been crying parental alienation. Lisa told the group chat that John's being audited. Adultery subreddit pro tip: don't write off your gifts and activities with your side piece as advertising and networking expenses. So we can't do that.
Oh yeah, okay. Good.
No advertising and networking expenses for the concubines. I don't exactly know why he's being audited, but I'm guessing it has something to do with that. I guess he filed his taxes before Lisa got my email earlier this year outlining his relationship with my wife. I'm assuming he got a love letter from the IRS. I don't know the details, but he's not happy, and that's the important thing, right?
Right, yes.
I think there's a bunch of random people. So for the reason I wrote the blog post, there were a couple of photos of Emily holding the baby and smiling. I guess it's a friend of theirs. She had visited earlier that day. Her hair was cropped, very short, but not shaved off. It was also its natural color. Like most blondes, Emily's hair color is actually brown. Matt tried to awkwardly scroll past these pics really quickly, but Emily captured on camera with her natural hair color is like taking a photo of Bigfoot, so I had to take a second look. She was smiling for the camera, so I guess she's doing okay. Matt went from proud papa to a semi-serious look on his face. I didn't want to hijack the occasion to be about Emily and me, so I just waved him off and kept scrolling. It's a little bit concerning because as long as I've known her, Emily has always had long hair. It's always been naturally full, like she rolls out of bed with hair that other women take hours to prepare. I'm just saying this is quite a radical change for her. Bob, Matt, I don't know why these people weren't mentioned in the other one.
Know.
I don't know who Bob and Matt are, so these...
Just cut it off before the post where he's like trying to like explain himself to Reddit, because they're all detectives on there.
Bob, Matt, and him know about Shreya, but I told them to keep it to themselves. I verified with Matt that he hasn't said anything to his wife about Shreya. They have bigger fish to fry at this point. I know it's probably inevitable that Emily.
So I guess Matt is Bev's husband.
Maybe. Inevitable that Emily will find out about it, but I want to hold off on that potential shitstorm as long as possible. Ideally, when she finds out, it'll be after Shreya goes back to India. That's where I'm at. 31, divorced, dating a timer, watching my friends build families while I rebuild myself. It's not where I thought I'd be. So I got a lot of comments asking why Matt and his wife are still friends with Emily. So I think Matt's probably his.
Yeah, we don't have to get into all that. So
in order to adequately explain it, I have to explain what it's like down here in the American South. Oh, they're Southerners. Basically, we're all Baptist down here. Even the Jews and the Muslims are Baptist. It's just a matter of degree. It's a spectrum. On one day, you have the Baptists who, on special occasions or holidays, swagger into church with dirty dicks and black hearts, chew up a dry cardboard square, down a thimble of grape juice, wink, and give the thumbs up, and tell the J-boss to sit tight until the next time.
It's pretty much. That's pretty good explanation. Pretty accurate.
Excuse me.
Nobody acts more non-Christian than Christians do. I'm sorry.
Yeah, a lot of times.
The ones that are like really devout about it and just like are up forth about, well, God wouldn't like that. The first one to tell you what God thinks is the last one that's living how God wants them to.
Then on the other hand, you have your Shiite Baptists who use their laser measuring tools on hemlines and solve the world's problems by throwing casseroles at them and saying, "Bless your heart." They attend Sundays, Wednesdays, prayer breakfasts, and small groups. They sacrifice by shopping for clothing at Walmart and feel guilty for any Target purchases because it's excessive. Let's get to... Yeah, I think we're probably good on wrapping
because
this
as soon
one
as I saw the bottom of like where he's like trying to defend himself, because people were like, this is just a fake story because one time you said this and then the next time you said this, and it's like, bro, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. That's a pretty decent put together story where I would be like, it's not fake.
Yeah, no, or else he's just a fucking A1 writer.
Well, I mean, also with how he's like typing and stuff like that, and then you saw that how he does, he's probably just like a fucking sporadic person. He did say in one of the posts that his father was dead when he first started it, but then in the next story he talked about how he talked to his father. So that's what they were saying the discrepancy was. But he was like, I didn't want her to see it. That's the, like, you know, my father's dead. Immediately she was like, oh, this is not about me.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, most of the story was about his father-in-law, not really his father, but that was the main father figure in the...
Well, his dad was paying for the house.
Yeah, but that's like the only part.
And then paid for his lawyer too, so Dad got money. Dad got money.
I mean, he doesn't have to have a ton of money to be able to pull that off. Just not have kids at home anymore.
Right. All right, guys. Well, this has been a crazy episode. This was a good, juicy story. If you would like to submit a story that you would like us to read, you can go to mikeanddylan.com, MikeandDylan.com. Guys, we also have a Patreon if you would like to check out some of our bonus episodes. The Patreon is patreon.com/mikeanddylan. You can also join us in the subreddit, M80HD, if you just want to clown around and get in that comment section. Dylan, you got anything to add? All right, guys. Well, listen, we love you so much for tuning in here with us and hanging in while Mike was unable to read for however long that was a long story. And I'm glad you guys were here with us, and I hope you enjoyed it, and we will see you next time.
Later.